levels. We have the world environmental levels. There's so many stressors, and women are by nature more connected to the fluctuations, hormonal fluctuations, moon, astrological moon connections. So women are more affected in one sense, or you could say open to also environmental energetic shifts. And so the stressors on women these days is quite tremendous. And because the liver, like I described before, is the controls what's called the free flow of chi. When that liver energy is not flowing well, then it's going to disturb all the hormonal cycles and whatever stage of life that woman is at. I mean, we still create hormones, obviously, until our last breath. So it's not like after menopause, it's all over. Your body's still creating hormones, but it has to pull it from other parts of the body. So in one sense, women are more vulnerable. You could say vulnerable, they're also more powerful, in many ways far stronger than men. But that they have to handle a lot more because of the fluctuations that they experience in their life. So on another note, in ancient cultures, women always, if you went to ancient China, ancient India, ancient Aboriginal tribal places, women were always sipping on herbs and teas throughout their life. They were not just sipping on coffee throughout their life. That's one herb. It's a monoculture herb pretty much in America. Coffee. Coffee is an herb, or tea. But there's so many beautiful herbs out there that support the natural cycles of women at different phases of life. And it's not just, we think of, this woman formula, for example, white peony. White peony is an amazing herb. Now, in naturopathic literature, it describes how it's a phytoestrogen. But if you study the Chinese literature, it mentions nothing about phytoestrogen. All it mentions is the beautiful, amazing things that it does for what's called the liver yin, which is the essential energy of the liver. And it promotes a happy mood, a calmer mind, a better smooth flow of chi of the liver, improves blood flow, blood production, which is essential. We need healthy blood to carry oxygen everywhere. So, for example, just that one herb, white peony, you could talk for hours about how amazing it is. So, more now than ever, and it's a the dynamic duo, really. Well, we got the trio with the skin product, but the glutathione, the swish, plus the hers is like an amazing combination. It's an amazing, and the swish is going to help with oxygenation and detoxification, amongst so many other things. But now we have the hers, which is this very dynamic, really nicely formulated product. When I looked at this formulation, I was like, wow, I'm really, really impressed. They really put some really good thought into it. The other thing that I love about it, honestly, is this delivery system, because the amount of herbs that's necessary to get the same effect or a better effect than many other herbal products is phenomenal. So the body is not having to break down and detoxify and figure out how to use it and figure out what's not useful and what is useful. The body just uses it immediately. So it's a remarkable formula.
Fantastic. I know that you're somebody that knows herbs so well, and could you talk about maybe a few of the favorite herbs that are in the hers formula?
Sure. Yeah, so I mentioned white peony, which is one of the major herbs in there, and beautiful herb. It really, really is. It's said to soften the liver. And what does that mean? So I'm talking from a Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic perspective. Softening the liver, again, has to do with the smooth flow of energy. When we say energy, we mean physical energy, mental energy, heart energy, muscular energy. when things are tight and congested, then we tend to get more irritable, more choppy in our life. We tend to get more tight ligaments, tight muscles. Our mind becomes less fluid. Okay, it's all connected. So when you nourish the liver in such a beautiful way, everything becomes smoother. And I was hearing Pam and Beth describe their experience of hers, and I think you mentioned it too, like sort of just felt lighter in the mind, and that describes, in one sense, one of the qualities of white peony. Another beautiful herb is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an amazing herb. They call it the happy herb. They really do. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen herb, and that means it helps your adrenals, it helps your nervous system adapt to stress more intelligently. Okay, so that's, if we have a stressor that comes in, maybe a little stressor, and if we overreact, that means we have an overreactive nervous system. Now, some people, there's a stressor that comes in, and what do they want to do? They want to take a blanket and hide under it. That's an underactive. Some people call that adrenal fatigue, adrenal stress, fatigue. Those are ways of looking at it. So ashwagandha is this amazing adaptogen that is both stimulating and calming at the same time, but not stimulating in such a way that you won't be able to sleep. In fact, you need energy to sleep. People think, oh, I'm just so tired, but how come I can't sleep? Well, there's something, your body's machine is not working sufficiently in order for you to create the energy to help you sleep. Ashwagandha helps us sleep. So people will often notice improved sleep when taking ashwagandha, and it makes you calm but energized. It's a really beautiful herb, really amazing herb. And then we have maca. Maca is an amazing herb too. Maca is also an adaptogen, and also very good for balancing hormones in the body. Maca can be taken by men and women, but it tends to be used more in women's products. So we have white peony, we have ashwagandha, we have maca. Oh, and we have dong quai. Dong quai, amazing herb. Dong quai and white peony. This is why one reason I was so impressed by this formula. I could tell they didn't just take some herbs we've read about, throw some very well thought out thinking went into this formula. White peony and dong quai go together often. Dong quai is a little stronger. It's called moving the blood, and white peony calms things down. So it's like a team. They work together at moving the blood and opening the liver and softening the liver and making everything flow better. So when things flow better, the mind feels better, the heart feels better, the digestion feels better. And for women, if they're whatever phase of life, their hormones, their ovaries, their uterus, everything flows better, everything's working better. So those two herbs together work phenomenally well. And let's see, what else is in there? We got some B12, a great form of B12 that's very much used by the body. B12, of course, is a very commonly known nutrient, but why is it in this formula? One reason that I would think is because it's a red blood cell builder. And without healthy red blood cells, you can't carry oxygen and you can't carry nutrients to the body. So even though it's a well-known nutrient, and they used a very intelligent form of it that's already methylated, so that means the body can utilize it immediately. And it's like a cherry on the cake, a beautiful addition to the formula, a meaningful one, even though you can buy B12 at a store, but in this formula, it's very, very appropriate. So sound good, Karen? Anything else you'd like to ask her? I know we're running almost.
I noticed that a number of the ladies spoke about bioidentical hormones.
Yes.
I know that you've told me that you feel that this product is more important now than ever before. So could you talk a little bit about that and about how it relates to bioidentical hormones, that type of thing? Yeah,
bioidentical hormones, very interesting topic. And, I think Pam's example was very interesting, what she went through. I mean, there's a principle in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, which is the goal is always to do the least invasive thing to get the greatest result. And often with traditional medicine, contemporary medicine, I should say, because traditional is ancient Ayurvedic Chinese medicine, and also modern naturopathy in many cases, is that they're always pounding the body with more and more and more. So the goal is to have the greatest effect with the least invasive thing. So taking a bioidentical hormone really should be done, if at all, way downstream after trying many other things. And now we have a formula. I mean, there's some really wonderful Chinese herbal formulas, Ayurvedic formulas that have been used for thousands of years that have been supporting the many cycles that women go throughout their life. And they're effective. There's no doubt that they can be very effective. But what's really beautiful about this is that, we're using ancient wisdom with modern science, and modern science in a very intelligent, safe, non-invasive way, so that we can use smaller amounts of those herbs and get a far greater effect, which again, using less to get more, less invasive to get more. If we can get a really positive effect on hormonal balance, on mood, on energy, on mental clarity, right? And if those things are happening, I can't say this for sure yet, clearly, but I would assume that people's hearts are going to be better. People's bones are going to be better, okay? All the things that good, feel-good chemistry happens in the body, that doesn't reflect just in the brain, but also in the tissues of the body. So my speculation is that a product like this is going to be protective of the things, those very things that hormone replacement therapy promises, but without the potential side effects. We know recently that Suzanne Summers passed away, and she's done a tremendous amount for the health world. And she was big into hormone replacement drugs, and she had horrible cancer. And I think she went, maybe 20, 30 years, and they told her she was going to die back then. And she did really well. And she was on hormone replacement, so she was a proponent of it. But she did end up dying of breast cancer, sadly. So I'm not making a distinct connection there. However, if she had used something like this instead, perhaps she'd still be with us. That I don't know. That's speculation. However, my point being is really do the least invasive and get the greatest result. And what I love about these products is that they're subtle, but super powerful, super potent, super effective, and it's just beautiful. I have a client who was in the test that Beth talked about, a young woman who was she was actually had COVID, and then she had the vaccine, and she had so many complications from both of those together. And she's, inching, getting a little better over the last many months. And it's been one of the first times that she came in my office was after using that product. She said, I think it's really starting to help. So it was so beautiful to see that. It was like something lifted in her energy, and I'm so excited to be using this product. I'm just doing a cleanse right now, and we have a lot of people starting to use the Swish, and now a lot of the women in there want to use the Hers, so we're going to start using it too. A lot of my practice. So
perfect. With that, why do you think that the Hers and the NutraSwish are such a great combination? Because I know you told me that that you think it is.
Yeah, I used to love Batman and Robin, so I think it's a dynamic duo. So, glutathione is gonna, because of that liver. So liver is so important. Livers, you can argue for any organ, but the liver is the most important organ in the body, right? So when you detoxify the liver, nourish the liver, then if you detoxify the liver, nourish the liver, improve blood flow, improve oxygenation, support the immune system. This is all what the Swish is doing. So you're taking the burden off the liver, which is a big problem why women end up having hormonal issues, is because of toxins that are built up in the liver. So by removing a lot of those issues, now you take hers, and hers is going to work even better in the environments of healthy blood, less toxins, better oxygenation, better immune system. So it's like the Swish is making a platform in the body for the hers to work even better. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Excellent. Some people are asking like how it helps postmenopausal women. And for those of you who don't know, I had a hysterectomy in my 30s because of a precancerous situation. So I went through menopause a long time ago. And when I first heard about the product, I was convinced that it wouldn't help me. I just thought, well, what's it going to do for, somebody my age and somebody that's already gone through menopause? But it was absolutely astonishing. And I used to take bioidentical hormones, and I went off of them quite some time ago, well over a year. I tried them back a year ago, but I'd gone off of them probably 3 years before that. But then a year ago, I tried them, and I felt just as crappy as I had before. So I went off of them for sure. And so I hadn't been on hormones, but I recently had my blood tested. And I'm not making a claim. Please don't take this as a claim. But I was astonished because my estrogen, testosterone, all of those things were wonderful. Wow. And so it's interesting. I'm not saying that would help for everybody, but for me, it was like stepping into a brighter room when I started taking products, and I'm well.
I love that description of brighter room, because that would make sense based on the formula.
Yeah, the ashwagandha and all of that, and I felt so happy. The first day I took it, I was thinking, boy, I feel happy. I feel really happy. And then I thought, why do I feel so happy? And then I thought, oh, maybe it's that product. And so then, over the next few days, I was testing it. But I'm at a point where I would never want to be without that product. It's just a better life. It's you're living inside a better brightness. It's just amazing. So I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to say.
Well, just in terms of that, Karen, someone mentioned about postmenopausal. The body still does make hormones. It makes it out of our fats and of our tissues in the body. So the body will still make hormones. So what we're doing with, you could say with hers postmenopausally, is supporting and nourishing with the Swish and with the hers, supporting and nourishing the bodies to its greatest capacity to make those hormones that it's still making, that it can make. In the herbal world, generally speaking, the herbs don't replace hormones, but they bring your body to its max potential and its capacity. So that's how I would see this, that it's helping your body to its max capacity make those hormones that it's capable of making, even though you had your ovaries taken out, because the body will keep making hormones. That is one reason why some women get overweight after menopause, is because, it used to be the ovaries, and then the adrenals are shot because maybe they're really stressed. So now the body has to depend on body fat to make hormones. So if you can support your adrenals, which this product will do, with the ashwagandha especially, and, with good diet and with the Swish, because the glutathione is going to help the adrenals also. This is not a claim, but, indirectly or directly, really, because it's helping the body create energy. And that's what the adrenals help us do. And by doing that, is one reason why people are losing weight, because they don't need to create body fat to create more hormones.
Oh, interesting. That's it. Repeat that, because that's such an interesting thing. People are losing weight because the body doesn't need to create body fat to create hormones. That's wonderful, because I have seen that reported, and I know that they're one of the I can't remember which one it is, but when I listened to the overview, and everyone, I posted that overview in the chat, so that if you want to see Roxanne Harris's overview on all of the products, I noticed that I think I heard one of the herbs or substances in the product actually encourages weight loss. But with that said, a number of people are asking about HERS for men, and I know some men are taking it, and I'm sure probably wouldn't hurt them. I don't think there's any herbs in there that would, but I asked Bert, the scientist, specifically if men should be taking it, and he said no. It's not for men. They're working on a formula for men, but he didn't say there was anything wrong with it. He just said it's not for men, you know. But
It's
hey,
not-
ashwagandha, you know, I mean, everybody wants it. So I'm sure there's nothing in it that would hurt anybody, but I just, you know, I'm just being blunt, the scientist when I
It's
asked
not
him.
going to hurt anybody, but it's not an ideal formula for men. So,
Yeah.
but I'm going to, you know, I'm going to try it myself just to have the experience of it. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that. But it's not a male formula, but it's nothing in it that would really be harmful.
Exactly. So just so that's said. So thank you, Dr. Glass. We just
Thank
love
you.
having you on. You know, your energy is lovely. It's just lovely to hear you speak, and I know you're seeing such great results with your patients and that. And so just Bill, we hope to have you on again soon. Everybody's
Okay.
thanking you, saying they love you, you're awesome, all of that. So just letting you
So
know.
much. Appreciate it.
And so thanks so much. And
Thank you.
all right, everybody, I'm just going to start the recording here. It's been a great call today, and stop recording. Okay, so I'm going to change the profile, the webinar settings in the back office so that we can all chat if anybody that wants to stay on. The first thing you might notice is you get kicked off. If you do, just come right back on, okay?
Yeah.
I have to change these, and it takes a minute, all right? I'm going to mute everybody. See if that changes it. No, it doesn't. Rick, I don't know how to fix that. Can you fix it? Because there's people talking in the background. If you're talking in the background, it makes it really hard for the rest of us. Rick, can you fix it? Are you still on with me?
Sort of, yep. Right.
Rick, are you still on with me?
Squares. Some
I don't know how to fix it, guys. I'm gonna go back there.
You're not eat now. I mean,
Okay, so whoever is talking in the background,
what did you do?
chicken